the colony that disappeared. In the year 2431, Earth launched its most advanced colony ship, Eden 9. It carried over 4,000 humans, families, scientists, engineers, and children, all ready to start a new life on a planet called Eris 4. But during a hyperspace jump, something went wrong. The ship never arrived. For 50 years, Earth received no signals. The Eden 9 was declared lost forever. But Eden 9 was not destroyed. It had been pulled into a mysterious part of space known on ancient alien maps as Sector Null, a zone hidden from all star charts. No human technology could explain how they got there. And no one knew how to get out. Commander Jason Ellis stood at the bridge of Eden 9, staring at the swirling purple clouds outside the ship. "This isn't Eris 4, he said quietly. The navigation system blinked red. The star patterns didn't match anything known to humanity. Eden 9 had drifted into the unknown. The crew tried to stay hopeful. They built a settlement on the nearest planet, one with breathable air and blue vegetation. They called it New Haven. It became their home. But life was hard. Supplies ran low. The tech started failing. Some people died from alien sickness. Others lost hope. Then the aliens came. They weren't like anything humans had seen. Tall beings with 4 arms and glowing eyes. Others with wings of light. Some with skin like liquid metal. At first, the humans were afraid. But the aliens didn't attack. They watched, studied, spoke through symbols and light. Over time, some began to trade. They brought food, healing plants, and strange crystals that powered the failing machines. In return, they wanted one thing: humans. At first, it was innocent. They were curious. They wanted to learn about the human body, human life, and human reproduction. Then came the requests, bondings. "You want to marry a human?" Ellis asked one alien leader. The creature nodded, its voice like wind through glass. "Your kind is special. You carry what we lost long ago." Ellis didn't understand. But others in the colony saw the chance to survive. Some humans agreed to the unions. Love, or perhaps desperation, began to grow between species. New families were born. Strange children, half human, half something else, with glowing veins or eyes that changed colors. They were called hybrids. One girl named Kara was born 5 years after the first union. Her mother was human, her father Vurik, a warrior race known for strength and honor. Kara looked human, but her eyes glowed violet. She could read thoughts, feel emotions through touch. People whispered about her. "She's different. She's dangerous." But Commander Ellis saw something else: hope. One night, Kara stood in the cold outside the colony dome looking at the stars. "Do you know where we are?" she asked her father. "No," he replied, "but I know what you are." She turned to him. "What?" "You are the future." Inside the command room, Ellis reviewed the old Earth files, messages that never sent, maps that showed stars now gone. He sighed. The colony was changing. Human blood was mixing. The children born now would never be fully human again. Then a new signal appeared on the monitor. Unknown language. Pulsing. Rhythm. Not from Earth. Not from Sector Null. But close. Watching. The next day, Kara's eyes turned fully purple. She whispered something in her sleep. "We are not alone." Treaties of flesh and future. The sun of New Haven rose with a pale silver glow. It wasn't like Earth's sun. It gave off no warmth, only light, cold and clean. Kara stood by the edge of the colony dome, her fingers pressed against the glass-like shield, staring at the alien forest beyond. Inside her, something stirred. She wasn't sick. She wasn't tired. She was changing. Commander Ellis paced inside, the council chamber. The air was tense. 5 humans sat around the curved table. 3 aliens stood at the far end. They were tall, dressed in flowing robes made of glowing thread. Their skin shimmered with patterns that moved like water. The lead alien, Ambassador Revex, spoke in perfect English. "Your species is unique. You carry strength in your genes. Our kind has suffered loss. Our young are weak. We offer alliance. But to make it lasting, we request formal reproduction unions." The room fell silent. "You want to marry our people?" one woman gasped. "To combine bloodlines," Revex nodded, "and ensure survival for both our kinds." Commander Ellis raised a brow. "And what do we get in return?" Revex stepped forward. "Protection, resources, healing nanites, and access to the Galactic archives." Ellis folded his arms. "And what if we refuse?" The alien didn't blink. "Then your bloodline ends here." That night, Ellis called Kara's mother, Mira, to his quarters. "Do you trust them?" he asked quietly. Mira looked down at her tea. "My daughter is half Vurek. She speaks to plants and hears things no one else hears. I don't trust the aliens, but I trust what they gave me." Ellis leaned forward. "Then why does Kara call herself a key?" Mira's hand trembled. She said, "The future can't happen without her." Outside the colony, preparations began for the first unity ceremony, an official bonding between human and alien partners. Kara, only 16 but already wiser than most adults, had been chosen by the Vurek Council to represent the future of hybrid harmony. Her partner, Tarek, son of the Vurek High General. He was strong, silent, and wore ceremonial armor that pulsed with energy. Kara didn't fear him, but she didn't trust him either. The night before the ceremony, Kara wandered into the old tech vault, where Earth's data cores were kept frozen. She passed old relics, broken android limbs, cryopods with no power, and faded Earth flags. But one terminal was still glowing. Curious, she placed her hand on it. Suddenly, screens lit up. Her DNA matched a classified file, Project Eden X. The file was marked, "Do not open until activation." It opened anyway. Lines of strange code filled the screen. Images of humans with alien features, babies grown in artificial wombs, and at the center, her name, Kara. Designation, Hybrid Prime. She stepped back, heart racing. What was this? Why was she listed before she was even born? And why did it say, "The hybrid prime must bond before the 17th cycle, or the genome will destabilize"? She didn't understand all of it, but one thing was clear. She wasn't an accident. She was a plan. The next morning, the unity ceremony began. Drums echoed through the colony. Aliens gathered in colorful robes. Humans watched with mixed feelings, some with hope, others with fear. Kara stood at the altar, Tarek beside her. She looked into his eyes and whispered, "Do you know what I am?" He nodded slowly. "Yes. You're not just a girl. You're the bridge." "Between what?" Tarek's face was calm. "Between what was and what must come." As the bonding rune glowed between them, Kara felt a strange warmth rise in her body. She felt her blood shimmer, her skin tingled. In that moment, her mind expanded. She saw visions of alien planets, old wars, broken treaties. She saw herself, older, stronger, with others like her. She saw a war and a choice. And then, everything went black. She awoke, gasping. Tarek knelt beside her. "You saw it, didn't you?" She nodded. "What was it?" he asked. Kara whispered. "A future, where no pure species survive." The child of unity, Kara didn't sleep for days. After the unity ceremony, something inside her changed. Her senses sharpened. She could hear whispers from far away. The plants near her glowed when she walked by. Even the stars looked different now, closer, like they were watching her, and her body was growing warm, unnaturally warm. Mira, her mother, sat beside her daughter's bed, wiping Kara's forehead with a cool cloth. "She's burning," Mira said, "but it's not fever. Her body is shifting." Dr. Kepler, the colony's lead biologist, ran tests in silence. He didn't look Kara in the eyes. Finally, he whispered, "She's pregnant." Mira's hand froze. "That's impossible." The bond was symbolic. They didn't even... Dr. Kepler cut her off. "I know, but her DNA is rewriting itself. She's not pregnant in the human way. The child is forming from energy." Mira's voice trembled. "What does that mean?" He looked her in the eyes. "It means this child wasn't made. It was awakened." The news spread fast. A hybrid girl, barely 16, now carried a life form that no species fully understood. The aliens called it the seed of balance. The humans were divided. Some praised her, others feared her. Commander Ellis gathered the council. "We're on a knife's edge," he said. "If this child is real, if it's born, it could unite us or destroy us." An elder scientist, Dr. Yao, leaned forward. "Commander, the energy levels inside her are rising. If the birth isn't natural, it could trigger a core burst, an explosion strong enough to crack the planet." Ellis stared into the dark window. "Then we don't just protect her, we protect everyone from her." Meanwhile, Kara sat alone in the forest outside the colony walls. Her body glowed faintly in the moonlight. She placed her hand on her stomach, though it looked flat. "I don't feel like a mother," she whispered. From the shadows, Tarek stepped out. "You're not just a mother," he said. "You're a gate." Kara turned. "Gate to what?" He didn't answer. Instead, he kneeled and pressed his hand into the dirt. A blue vine shot up instantly, blooming. With light, it wrapped gently around Kara's wrist. "Do you hear it?" Tarek asked. Kara closed her eyes, and she heard a voice. Small, kind, yet ancient. "I am not born. I am remembered." She gasped and pulled away. Later that night, strange weather covered New Haven. Green lightning cracked the sky. Rain fell, but the droplets glowed and steamed on the ground. The colony systems failed for 6 minutes. When they restarted, every screen displayed one message: "The child of unity approaches. Prepare or fall." Inside the birthing chamber, the energy around Kara grew wild. Scientists couldn't measure it. The machines sparked and failed. Even the aliens couldn't get close. Some fainted just by touching the walls. Mira stayed beside her daughter. "You're not alone," she whispered. Kara looked up, tears in her eyes. "Mom, I'm scared." Mira nodded. "Me too. But maybe this child is what will stop the fighting." Kara screamed. A burst of light exploded from her chest. Not pain. Transformation. No blood. No screams. Only silence. And when the light faded, Kara was sitting upright, holding a glowing form in her arms. It wasn't a baby in the human sense, it was small. Its skin shimmered like crystal. It had eyes, 4 of them, and wings like threads of light. But when it looked up at Kara, it smiled like a human child. Tarek entered the room, fell to one knee and said, "The Seraphina has been born." Commander Ellis entered with guards. He stared at the child. "This is not what we planned." "No," Kara said softly. "It's what we were meant for." Suddenly, alarms blared. A ship, massive, dark, and ancient, appeared in orbit. It sent one message: return the seed, or be consumed. The gene vault's secret. The child didn't cry. She just stared. 4 glowing eyes wide open, calm and silent. Kara held her close, but it felt like she was the one being watched. The baby's light flickered with every breath, and her skin shimmered like glass touched by stars. They named her Leora, a word from ancient Vurek that meant light of change. But even as Kara tried to smile, her heart felt heavy. In the command dome, Commander Ellis stood frozen. The image of the massive alien ship hovered on the screen, blacker than space itself. No name, no signal. Only one warning had come through: return the seed, or be consumed. Ellis turned to Tarek. "What does it want?" Tarek's voice was tight. It's from the old blood. A race that should have died long ago. They fear what your daughter represents. Ellis stepped closer. What is she? Tarek looked him dead in the eye. A living bridge. If she grows, she can merge species. She can overwrite blood itself. Ellis shook his head. That's not evolution. That's erasure. No, said Tarek. That's survival. That night, Mira sneaked into the old science wing with Leora wrapped in her arms. She passed dark halls, broken labs, and forgotten machines until she reached a sealed door labeled Gene Vault 01. The door was covered in thick vines, alien in nature. But as Mira stepped forward, the vines parted silently. The vault recognized. Leora, it opened with a hiss. Inside was a dark chamber filled with glowing cylinders. Inside each one, strands of human DNA floating in silver fluid. Some were labeled by name: Ellis, Jason; Kepler, Anna; Jensen, Noah. Others were marked simply, Unknown Hybrid. Mira's eyes widened. They preserved our genome. A robotic voice echoed softly. Project Eden X Archive. Initiated. Year 2431. Purpose: species continuity through genetic fusion. What fusion? Mira asked. A panel lit up, revealing ancient video logs. She watched in silence as a younger Commander Ellis spoke into the camera. We were warned. Earth's bloodline was too fragile. If colonization fails, we must find stronger paths. The vault will hold the core until the right vessel awakens it. The next screen showed Kara as a baby. Labeled Hybrid Prime Candidate Eero 1, Mira's knees buckled. They planned her, long before she was born. Suddenly, a sharp breath came from Leora. She wasn't crying. She was pointing toward a sealed metal capsule deeper in the vault. Mira approached. It pulsed with gold light, then opened slowly. Inside was a glowing shard, a living data crystal. As she picked it up, her mind was flooded with visions, not of the past but the future. Cities in the sky, humans with wings, aliens with human eyes, and at the center, Leora, fully grown, a queen, or a weapon. Back in the colony, Kara sat alone while the stars outside twisted unnaturally. The dark ship was still above them. Watching, waiting. Ellis entered the room. We found the gene vault. Kara turned. You knew I wasn't born by chance. He nodded slowly. We didn't know it would be you, but Earth scientists feared extinction. They thought mixing blood would keep us alive. Kara whispered. What if they were wrong? Ellis didn't answer, but the lights flickered. And outside, the alien ship moved closer. Tarek rushed into the room. They're preparing to descend. The old blood doesn't negotiate. If they touch ground, there'll be nothing left. Ellis clenched his fists. Then we fight. Tarek looked at Kara. No. We unlock her. The trio returned to the gene vault. Leora floated above the air now, her tiny hands glowing with golden light. The shard Mira had found was now inside her chest. Absorbed, fused with her body. The vault responded instantly. A final message played. If the hybrid prime lives, the seed may bloom. If threatened, she will not die. She will transform. Mira whispered. Into what? The air in the vault thickened. The machines hummed louder. Lights turned red. Then the message completed. Into extinction, or salvation. Outside, the alien ship opened. Thousands of shadow-like beings descended. Silent, crawling, hungry, and in Kara's arms, Leora opened her glowing eyes. She said her first word. Stop. The hybrid rebellion, the word echoed like thunder. Stop. Leora had not shouted. Her voice was soft like a breeze. But the sky trembled. The alien warriors, dark, formless things made of shadow and rage, froze mid-air. Then came silence. Every system in the colony powered down. No hum, no light. Only the beating of hearts and the glow of a small child. floating. Her 4 eyes turned silver. Commander Ellis stood beside Kara, his weapon useless in his hands. His mouth was dry. Did she just stop a war? Kara didn't answer. She couldn't. She was watching her daughter, not with love or fear, but awe. Leora's body pulsed once more. Then she gently floated down and landed on the ground. The moment her bare feet touched the soil, something ancient awakened. The ground cracked, but not from damage, from growth. Vines burst from beneath the surface. Not wild, not random, organized, controlled. Alien and human life woven together. Roots, crystals, glowing leaves, all moving in harmony. In seconds, the colony square became a living garden of unity. But peace was short. From the sky, a shriek sounded. The old blood ship responded to Leora's interference by releasing a different kind of creature. Not soldiers this time. Hunters, made to erase hybrid life. They dropped from the clouds like spears of darkness. The first landed near the vault and tore through the ground like it was paper. The second vaporized a Vurek guard in one flash. Commander Ellis shouted, "Everyone to shelter!" But Leora raised her hand. "No," she said calmly. "This is their test." Kara grabbed her daughter. "We don't need to prove anything." Leora's silver eyes met hers. "If we run, we stay prey. If we rise, we become something new." Across the colony, other hybrids, children born from human-alien unions, began to feel something strange. Their bodies tingled. Their blood warmed. Their eyes flickered with unknown energy. One hybrid boy, barely 13, threw his hand forward and shattered a wall with nothing but force. A girl with green skin and human hair whispered a single word and stopped a hunter mid-air. The hybrids were activating. Ellis and Tarek stood on the wall of the main dome, watching chaos erupt and calm again within seconds. Tarek nodded slowly. "It has begun," Ellis asked. "What has?" Tarek said. "The reckoning of blood. The time when the old races must step aside or be replaced." In the heart of the colony, Leora led the hybrids to the open field. They stood shoulder to shoulder, dozens of them. Young, strange, strong. She raised her hands. "We do not kill, we transform." She sent a pulse through the air, not to hurt the hunters, but to rewrite them. One by one, the black creatures screamed, then collapsed. When they rose, they were no longer shadows. They had color. They had eyes. They had names. Leora walked to the nearest one. "You are not weapons," she whispered. "You were stolen." The creature, once a monster, kneeled and said in a hoarse voice, "We remember. Freedom." The aliens on the ship began to panic. Their power was fading. The child had touched something ancient, deeper than war or blood. Something the stars themselves had forgotten. The ship tried to flee, but the sky above New Haven cracked open. A gateway appeared, golden and silent. And from it came Earth's signal. Inside the command dome, a voice came through the old emergency channel. "Earth Colony 7 to Eden 9. We received your signal. Who's in command?" Ellis blinked. He couldn't speak. Leora stepped forward and pressed the comm. "No commander here," she said. "Only life, and we are not alone." Back in the field, the hybrids raised their hands toward the sky. The vines of the living garden stretched higher, connecting with the golden gateway. Kara turned to Ellis. "What happens now?" Ellis looked at the sky, voice quiet. "We were the past. They are what comes next. War for identity." The golden gateway in the sky stayed open. Through it, Earth's voice came clearer now, stronger. Signals layered with old Earth languages, military codes, and one chilling phrase, identify. Human status, pure or altered. Commander Ellis stood frozen on the tower platform, eyes locked on the glowing rift. Kara stood beside him, clutching Leora. "We don't fit that question anymore," she whispered. Ellis's voice was tight. They're not asking. They're demanding. From orbit, the old blood ship, damaged and silenced by Leora's pulse, sent one final message before self-destruction. Human contamination confirmed. Galactic purity failed. Others will come. Then it vanished in a flash of blue dust. But the fear it left behind remained. Within hours, a new threat arrived, an Earth battleship, marked with the crest of the Terran Genetic Authority, TGA, came through the Golden Gate. Massive, gray, cold, carrying thousands of soldiers, medtechs, and AI drones. Their leader was a woman named General Arden Rourke. Her voice was sharp, her uniform spotless. She greeted Ellis with no warmth. "We're here to secure the Eden 9 bloodlines. Any altered specimens must be quarantined." Ellis stepped forward. "They're not specimens, they're people." Rourke's eyes narrowed. "They're illegal. Unauthorized fusion with alien DNA breaks Earth's genetic code laws. You're out of line, Commander." He didn't step back. "I'm not your commander anymore." Rourke activated a drone. It flew over Kara and scanned Leora, who now appeared calm in her mother's arms. But when the drone came close, Leora's body pulsed silver. The drone exploded. Rourke pulled out her sidearm. "You've created a genetic weapon." Kara stepped forward. "No, we gave birth to hope." Meanwhile, in the colony's outer fields, the hybrids, children and teens from dozens of mixed races gathered. They'd felt the tension rise. They saw the soldiers line up in battle formations. Some wanted to run, others wanted to fight. But a boy named Savi, part human and part Seraphim, lifted a flag made of glowing leaves. He shouted, "We were born here. We belong here." The others echoed his words. A rebellion was no longer rising. It had already begun. Tarek met Ellis in the old council chamber. "If Earth tries to take the hybrids, war will follow." Ellis nodded slowly. "This isn't about war. It's about identity. Who gets to decide what a human is?" Leora stood outside, eyes on the Earthship above. She whispered, "They fear what they don't control." Kara kneeled beside her. "What are you feeling?" Leora looked up. "They'll never accept me, so I must make them remember who they were, before fear ruled them." General Rourke gave one final warning. "Surrender all hybrids. If not, Earth will cut off all contact. You'll be declared rogue. Your supplies will rot. Your name erased." Ellis said nothing. Kara stepped in front of him. "Then erase us, but you'll never erase what comes next." Rourke raised her hand to command an attack, but the ground shook. The hybrids had activated. Roots wrapped around the Earth soldiers' boots. The air thickened. Technology failed. Guns jammed. AI drones dropped from the sky like dead birds. And then Leora floated above them all. Her voice echoed across every speaker, every ear, every mind. "You came to cage life, but life has already grown past you." She stretched her hands. A glowing sphere surrounded the colony. The Earthship couldn't penetrate it. Even the sky gate closed behind them. Rourke and her troops were sealed out. Inside the dome, Ellis sat down, eyes wide. "You cut Earth off," he said to Leora. She shook her head. "I didn't cut them off. I gave us space to choose who we are." In the quiet that followed, Tarek whispered, "The war was never about guns. It was about blood." And Kara, holding her daughter, replied, "And we just reclaimed ours." New Eden. The skies over New Haven were silent. The Earthship hovered above the glowing dome, powerless to enter. Its weapons dead. Its drones unresponsive. Its soldiers watching through cold windows as something entirely new unfolded below. Inside the dome, Leora stood at the center of the colony, surrounded by hybrids from every race. Children of Vurek, Seraphim, Orvalin, and human blood, standing side by side, no longer hiding, no longer afraid. Commander Ellis sat on the edge of the stone platform, staring at the glowing plants now blooming across the colony. Trees shimmered like stars. Flowers breathed light. The air felt alive, like it had a heartbeat. He looked at Kara. "So, what happens now?" he asked quietly. Kara was holding Leora. who had stopped glowing, but her 4 eyes still sparkled like the galaxy itself. "We build something new," Kara said. "Even if Earth turns its back," she smiled. "Maybe that's what we needed all along." A council was called. Not of humans, not of aliens, but of hybrids. The young ones who had always been treated like side thoughts. Now they were the future. At the head of the table sat Leora, still a child by appearance but older in spirit than anyone there. "We must choose," she said. "Do we stay divided by origin or unite by purpose?" The youngest hybrid, a boy with glowing skin and feathered arms, raised his hand. "Are we still human?" Leora smiled. "We are what humans dreamed they could be. Kind, strong, curious, and finally free." General Rourke, trapped aboard the powerless Earth ship, stared at the planet below. Her second-in-command asked, "Should we attempt a forced landing?" She shook her head. "No, this isn't war anymore. It's evolution." A silent transmission was sent back to Earth. Mission failed, colony no longer human but no longer enemy. Then they left, without a shot fired. Weeks passed, then months. New Haven was no longer just a colony. It was a living world. Hybrids cultivated cities that glowed with light, clean energy from the ground and sky. Diseases vanished. No one went hungry. Species that once warred now built together. Commander Ellis stepped down. The old world was done, and New Eden was born. One morning, Kara walked through a field with Leora, now taller, her voice deeper, her glow gentler. "I had a dream," Leora said. "About what?" Kara asked. "That the stars called us, that others are lost too. Other colonies, other children, like us." Kara looked at her daughter with pride. "And what do you want to do?" Leora turned to the sky. "I want to find them." The next year, New Eden launched its first ship, not a warship, a seed ship, carrying hope, carrying unity, carrying a message to the galaxy. You are not alone. We are the children of Earth and stars, and we are ready to grow together. Back on Earth, historians would later whisper about Eden 9, the lost colony that vanished and never came back. But they were wrong. It did come back, just not as what it was. It returned as a legend, as a future, as New Eden. The end.